So Jim, you recently purchased this car, your first proper run in it this weekend. Just talk us through how the weekend's unfolded.
Weekend's been gone really good. Practice and qualifying were great. Race 1, Race 2, Race 3, terrific. Race 4 developed a little bit of a problem with the rear end, I think, but nothing broken, so it may be inside the diff or something.
The most important thing with this sort of racing is that everyone's having fun. Certainly Freddie and Alan seem to be enjoying themselves. What about yourself?
Oh no, of course. I haven't driven this car since 1990, and it's immediately hop in it. It's exactly the same as it was, more or less, and you can just remember what it was like to drive and how you drove it. Having a lot of fun, but you come a long way, so you want everything to be right. But hey, it's you still got a smile on your face whether something happens or not.
Now, you drove a couple of the different Group A cars back in the day, the 635, the M3, this car, the GT-R. Just paint the picture for us what this car's strengths and weaknesses were.
Well, this car's main strength, I don't think it really had a weakness, apart from the fact that it didn't have as much horsepower as the Sierras. But because it didn't have enough as much horsepower, it was a lot easier on its tyres. So in 1990, when we won the championship in this car, we actually won 2 rounds of the early part of the season, and mainly because it looked after its tyres well. The Sierras probably had another 100 horsepower more than us, but we could manage our tyres better, and so our overall race pace was always better on the short tracks.
Yeah, as you say, the short tracks really were its strength. How did Lakeside suit it?
Lakeside, to be honest, like back then in those days, didn't really suit it that much for some reason. I don't know why, but I think Scapey and I finished about 4th or 5th or 5th or 6th or something. So we didn't have a great run here at Lakeside in 1990, but other tracks like Amaroo we won, and Winton we won, and we went far behind at Malala. But no, it was great memories. Great little car.
And what's the plan with it from here? Will we see you in it from time to time?
Oh, certainly. No, I've bought it to race it, and hopefully next meeting will be Muscle Car Masters. So I'll run my Falcon and the Nissan. So yeah, no, that's what it's been got for.
So Fred, you've put the band back together here with Gibson Motorsport. Yourself, Alan Heafy, and Jim Richards in the car. Tell us what we're all doing here.
Well, I think we're trying to make a bit of history for historic touring car racing, really. And by Alan asked me last year sometime what I was doing, and we thought this would be something to get involved in again. We had 15 Nissans, and we've got 14 still available to us. So we sort of started to talk to all the Nissan people, and hopefully we put together a package where, particularly next year, we can run under the Gibson Motorsport banner again with all our old Nissan cars. We're looking forward to it. Richo bought his old 1990 car back, which we're here today with, sort of thing. And I think really the future probably for us now is to do some historic racing.
You mentioned the HR31 that's here with us today. It was a little bit probably overshadowed in history by the GT-R, but it's a car that did win the championship and must hold some special memories for you.
Yeah, but you don't forget the GT-R won the final race of the year for the championship, and Jim used the HR31 the whole year that year till Oran Park. So the HR31 really, even though the GT-R gets all the glory for doing it, it was only part of the package. And the HR31, against the Sierras at the time, with more power and the whole thing, but our cars were just cars you'd hop in and, as we always say, drive the wheels off it the whole race, and the tyres would last and the car would last, and we got the points. So until the last round of the championship, when Jim won in 1990 sort of thing, it was sort of like it was all HR31 before that. So that had been a supercar for us, particularly from the DR30 to the HR31. We had more time to make the cars reliable, and they were good, reliable cars, and I don't think we had many cars fail to finish.
The Group A regulations, we've got to remember, were a global set of regulations, and there was HR31 programs going on in Europe and Japan as well. How did that all work with you guys in Australia and those programs overseas?
Well, earlier on the HR31, Alan Heafy was running Nissan Motorsports Europe, and he was running a car out there for Win Percy as well, and they did 24-hour race in that. They probably run a different spec engine than what we had, because they run Zytec injection and things on, but basically the cars were the same. But the whole problem we had back in those days was homologation, because we wanted to homologate, we had to homologate through CAMS in Australia here, through Nissan Motor Company in Japan, through JAF in Japan, then FIA. So a lot of the things we homologated, like Hollinger gearbox and things, we wanted in the cars here, because we thought at the time we had the most competitive Group A sort of racing in the world with the Sierras and things here, because Dick had probably the best Sierras in the world. So homologation was very important, but very slow, because it'd take you probably 6 months or so to get homologation through, because it only gets done so many times a year in FIA. So in lots of ways, even the DR30, we stayed out of it for a year, even though we had a car ready to run, because there was parts on that car we hadn't finally got homologated. So we knew what the homologation system was, and we made sure with HR31 we were much more advanced with that to get it done quickly.
So the biggest weakness being power. If you did have more time with it, more years, bigger turbocharger, was that a possible solution to all that?
Well, it wasn't really an option, because we knew at some stage Nissan were going to produce a GT-R. Now, when we were told that, and we knew what year we were going to get it, I just assumed they said it was going to be a 6-cylinder twin turbo car. So I just thought it was going to be a V6 twin turbo. As it turned out, it was a straight 6 twin turbo, which really wasn't really good for motorsport, because it's a 6-cylinder engine. It's 6 cylinders long under the bonnet, hangs over the front cross member, so it makes the car front heavy. If you had a V6 in it, it's 3 cylinders long. So against the firewall it goes, and that makes the power to weight ratio and the balance of the car much better. So yeah, the GT-R was a very difficult car to get to go quick, and also unreliability in the first part of the time, and homologation. So that was a very expensive car, and also a very difficult car to make go quick.